Today on the Topping Show, Bud Light Sunday Ticket YouTube video gets 9 likes. Trump will be president for life, according to screaming Rachel Maddow. Twitter X rolls out new safety draconian measures. Bud Light Backyard Tour tweet ghosted. Robin Hood remake is guaranteed to flop. Elon Musk is targeted by the federal auto regulators. The SEC investigates Elon Musk for a glass house. Mitch McConnell freezes yet again. Farmers Insurance is laying off over 2,000 employees. U.S. Steel is reviewing new offers. Subway is serving subs in a rigid airship. American Airlines votes for a strike, and Burger King lawsuit, well, because their burgers were actually too small. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner and need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Now, going on to the business part of the podcast, you have Farmers Insurance laying off 2,400 employees. Now, when you look at the overall picture of how big the company is, that does correlate to about 5% of the company's overall workforce. Now, they claim this is an attempt to restructure for long-term growth and profitability, though there is one thing they could do to actually make it so they don't have to lay anyone off. Well, relocate. They're currently headquartered in California, where they're presumably paying millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in taxes. Not just property tax for presumably all the headquarters that they either own or rent, but also all their employees have to pay a huge amount of income tax, and of course there's corporate taxes. And you have the tax, gasoline tax. I was only partially joking about the tax. I'm sure there's taxes for taxes and taxes over there. But if they were to relocate to somewhere who has no income tax, employees would surely love that more. And there are also places with much more favorable tax when it comes to business, both property taxes. Because if you have big headquarters, presumably you also have to pay a big property tax. There's a lot of incentives. Other states are really graving great incentives attracting businesses. As far as I can tell, California is doing nothing to retain the few businesses that are still headquartered there. Now, I know there's still a huge economy in Silicon Valley, which is artificially inflated just because you do have the numbers from the big tech companies, but even a lot of the mid-level tech companies are leaving. But nevertheless, going back to Farmers Insurance, when asked for comment, the CEO, Raul Vargas, he recently said, quote, "Given the existing conditions of the insurance industry and the impact that they are having on our businesses, we need to take decisive actions today to better position farmers for future success," unquote. Now, this is hilarious, partially because other insurance companies are doing great. Now, Warren Buffett, one of the biggest parts of his portfolio, where his Berkshire Hathaway is the company he runs, one of the most successful parts is Geico Insurance. That's one of their cash cows, so to say. They make a lot of money from that. Now, out of curiosity, I wonder where is Geico Insurance headquartered? Are they also in California? Where would a gecko live? Seems like an Arizona place. Headquartered over in Maryland, really? I would not have guessed that. Geico is headquartered there. Geico, that can't be right. Geico, oh no, it is. Is the second largest auto insurer in the United States after State Farm, wholly owned subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway. Good old Geico. I would have thought that Gecko would be more home in Arizona or something like that, but I digress. It's fascinating. He's saying, oh yeah, insurance companies are under a lot of pressure, and they are in certain areas. They actually are ceasing giving out new policies in Florida, and ironically enough in California as well, because some of these insurance companies, again, depending on the weather, what kind of disasters happen, they lose money in those situations, and even if they sometimes don't have the proper underwriting. So it'll be interesting to see. It is unfortunate that they have to lay off 2,400 employees. This is a trend we're seeing more and more. You had T-Mobile earlier this week also announced I believe about 5,000 employees being let go. And I do hope they find gainful employment at a competitor. Hopefully those folks over at Farmers Insurance are able to find a job maybe at Geico or one of the other providers of insurance so they can kind of reallocate those skills that they've learned in the industry. But it'll be interesting to see you have more and more companies laying off folks. And yet I'm told this is the best economy ever, according to the White House press secretary, and they don't lie. They certainly don't lie. But in all seriousness, I partially digress. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, it's a crazy goal, but trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to click that button. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. The feedback is greatly appreciated, especially if it's critical, as we try to make the show better and better. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.